Hopefully that's better now. Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you for that, baby smell. Yeah, just saying it's snowing out. We're supposed to get 6 to 14 ilms of snow, and so we'll check in with that as the stream goes on. We'll be streaming for quite a while today. I have to work tonight, so I have the day off of work, but I have to work at midnight Central Time, and so the plan is to go up as close to that as we can make it today, and see how that goes. We are wrapping up now the last level 85 quest, and we're here in Radzat Han. We're going to go back over to Megaduta here, and we are midway through level 86. We also did, at the end of the session last time, unlock the role quest line, and so at some point we will head over to Maelstrom Command and see what happens with that once we kind of leave this area. Oh, I was right where I needed to be. We wrapped up over here. We're going to have a little supper with the Scions. That was the plan. So hope everybody's having a good Friday. How have you been making more progress in Endwalker, Baby Smell? About what level are you at? What level story quests are you at right now? Alphino, what's going on? Forgive me for not wanting to make a toast. My throat was utterly parched. I know I must eat to regain my strength, but between you and me, I don't have much of an appetite. The threat here has been quelled, but our job's only just begun. Good you could join us. Milil over there will be happy to take your order. How was your meeting with the Radiant? I would love to hear more. It was alright. We got role quests now, Graha. Welcome. When the Satrap asked us to entertain a party of honored guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise, to say the least. By the way, I heard all about Kazal from your friend Grahatia. I understand there was nothing that could be done, but I was heartened to hear he meant us no harm. I cannot thank you enough for dispatching the beasts. As the smallest token of our thanks, your food and drink tonight are Mayride's treat. Speaking of which, what shall I start you off with? You finished the story, you're in the epilogue. Awesome. Piping hot mug of chai, glass of your finest local spirits, water, just water. Well, you know, we can't really see outside right now. We'll go with a glass of the finest local spirits. Take the edge off a little bit. As you wish. Pray join your friends, and I will bring you your drink. Alright. Whoop. Oh, wait. Yeah. We already heard that. Welcome back. Whatever did the Radiant want with you, pray tell? Wanted me to go help defend the realm. Our allies have sent military delegates. That's news to me. Mind sharing the details? You love Ninja's level 90 ability? Cool. Yeah, I think the next thing I unlock is the level 90 ability for Dragoon. I don't think there's anything else in between 86 and 90. So we'll see what that adds to the
now
mix.
plague all the realm.
For the most part.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true. As it did in Amarot.
There we go.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread? As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Oh, I missed Estinian back there. I didn't even talk to him. My bad. Sorry, Estinian. Didn't mean to leave you out, bro. Does that have a pickle in it? Oh, it's a lime.
Here's your order, friend.
Is it a big mug of tequila? Ah. Blood red.
May you find comfort in these dark times.
This is Apocalypse Punch, we call it. cashing in on the current state of things.
Where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing. We must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control.
Yeah, what kind of a solution can we even come up with here?
Is there something? Anything we've overlooked?
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days.
True.
Alas, we have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate.
What's your speculation? Can or will not? Because that has a very big difference in connotation.
Even the flower she gave us is no more.
Yeah, the darkness overtook it. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name. Alright, we gotta remember Elpis.
So advised the Watcher. But what could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
Time to do a library search back to Sharlayan.
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
Another dead end. And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead. Elidibus.
So I was wondering, actually, it's funny. Like, I was wondering if we were going to have to go back to, like, the Crystal Tower and try to, like, commune with him in some way, shape, or form. And I was also wondering if, like, Elidibus is in the, like, how the Crystal Tower works. Because right now it's behind, it's back in time in our world, but it's ahead of time in the first. Like, can we go to it here? And is he part of the Crystal Tower here? Or because it's in the past, it's not. We have to go over there. If you have one complaint about the story, it's their use of platitudes about life.
I sealed him in the White Horosite at the Crystal Tower back on the first.
Overthinking
Contained
things?
within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea. Naught may remain of his soul. However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there.
Interesting.
I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend, still can.
It would be an opportunity to look in on the others as well. Even though, granted, the other night I was a bard and I was doing some fates, because my bard's level 70, I was doing some fates over there and some, like, just random hunt stuff. Said you thought it was an enjoyable and beautiful ending to a long story arc. Nice, awesome. I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure. I've heard lots of good things.
Thank you,
vaguely
my
from people
friend.
on the internet. Luckily, nothing's been
That would
spoiled
mean
yet.
much to me.
If nothing else, should we learn the first is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, because we haven't been able to figure out if there is any way we could try to get them off. So then if the source gets destroyed, the first is destroyed. They wouldn't even, they just blink out of
the odds
existence.
are not in our favor, to say the least. Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
What is it that
And why we
Elidibus could
have
know,
nothing
though?
to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the ethereal sea.
and I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final days have progressed elsewhere.
Okay.
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats, if only to slow the spread.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle. You are not alone.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation. Yes, so much left for you to see.
I like the fourth wall-ish
Where
breaking
beginning ends and end begins.
that they use with Emet-Selch here with narration. If I remember correctly, so they did the narration with Edmont in Heavensward. They did not do narration in Stormblood, right? If I remember correctly, I don't think they had anybody when you went into new areas explaining things. And then with Shadowbringers, did Lise? I guess I don't remember. It's only been a year, but it's been too long. Lise was narrating? Okay. All of it? I suppose, because she was traveling with us. And then it was Grahatia was narrating, the Crystal Exarch was narrating when we were in Norvrant until 5.3 when it switches to Lise. Or not Lise. What's her face? Reen. Another one with a Y as a second letter. Ah. Well, I suppose I do feel better on a full stomach after all. Burning skies, blasphemies, not if I've got anything to say about it. The final days. How far has the phenomenon spread, and how does it manifest itself in each land? I must reach out to my friends in each nation and find out all I can. Beasts and blasphemies may be running amok in nearby lands outside the influence of Radzat Han and the Alliance. If so, I may need to go hunting. A-hunting we will go. If the Forum truly has been spurred to action by Hydaelyn's prophecy, then is it not odd that the Anti-Tower was entrusted to Master Toya, who bears them no love? No doubt she has a reason for this, and I would know what it is. Nothing like a feast to lift the spirits. I trust you enjoyed yourself as well? Sure. Got a little tipsy. Now then, is there anything we've forgotten to mention? Are your arms and armor in good order? I believe I have repaired them, yes. In that case, it's time we each attended to our tasks. And when you arrive on the first, give my regards to Reen. Tell her I miss her. Oh, higher, higher and higher. Should Reen ask questions, don't hide the truth from her. If anything, see if she has any insights to offer. She's not a child in need of protection, but a comrade we should be willing to rely upon, even if a part of me may always beg to differ. So we'll get an Ironwood weapon coffer. That will probably leave for now. Actually, all these coffers will probably leave since we just upgraded our stuff with these things. These will all go to Red Mage when it gets to this middle area. Return to the Crystarium. Grahatia has something he wishes to give you. Take this, Callista, my spirit vessel. Empty now, of course, but it should allow you to operate the tower's systems in the umbilicus. If even the smallest fragment of Elidibus's essence remains, it should be possible to locate it. As for access to the umbilicus, pray seek out Lena for assistance. Chances are she still stands watch at the Ascensor Gate. Should she or anyone else ask after me, tell them I am living my life to the fullest. that I am happy, hardships and all. Well, we had best be on our respective ways. God's willing, we will see each other again ere long. God's willing. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba. All right. So we have to either speak with Lena, but first, Lisa. Oh, let's go to Lisa Lamasa. Actually, it is cheaper to go to the Crystarium. But even with that said, actually, one thing I wanted to check out before we leave here. There we go. I want to see if the airship landing is working. Just curious if at some point that turns... Limsa Linguini. Well, the Culinary Guild is there, so there's a good chance that they do have some Limsa Linguini. While the tower may be gone, conditions still aren't exactly favorable. It's going to be a while until we're flying again. Righto, righto. Alright, Limsa Laminsa. Let's see what the role quest is all about before we head to the Crystarium. Bum, bum, bum. Alright. Up to the aft castle. Cried many times during the story, but then again, you're like a huge pussy who cries at pretty much anything, even remotely sentimental. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I could see getting emotional. I teared up a few times here or there throughout this so far. The other night I was trying to think of which times they were, but I honestly I can't remember off the top of my head now. Alright, let's check in on what we need to do with the role quest here. Wow. Maelstrom Secretariat. Secretariat? You gonna win the triple crown? Ah, our man in Radzatan told us to expect you. I'll inform the Admiral of your arrival. Thank you. Admiral Blowfish, she's here. Glad you could join us, Callista. I only wish it were under better circumstances. The grave news from the Bounty has not escaped our ears. I can scarce begin to imagine the horrors you have witnessed there. It pains me to say the selfsame hell has come to Vilbrand. Fell beasts born of deepest despair have been sighted all throughout our island. Tell her what we know. The first report came a few days ago from one of our men patrolling Skull Valley. He spoke of a fearsome creature unlike any native to our shores. While we had our suspicions, it was only later that a connection to the final days was confirmed by a most unlikely source, the Sahagin. We've been treating their tempered for some time now, and many have made a full recovery. Owing to this, some factions are eager to improve diplomatic relations with Limsa. It is one such faction that has provided the most comprehensive reports, in all their alarming detail. They speak of a most dreadful sight, their spawn brothers transforming into horrific beasts before their very eyes. Indeed, it is far too similar to the incidents in Radzatan to be mere coincidence. If our assumptions are correct, the first and most formidable of the beasts, a blasphemy as it was decided we would call them, prowls our waters as we speak. Fortunately, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy within the city. Nevertheless, if we are to spare our people the horror that befell Radzat-Han, the fiend must be dealt with, and quickly. Despite our investigative efforts, we remain very much in the dark as to the precise nature of the threat we face. Were we to recklessly dispatch large numbers of troops, we'd run the risk of having our own men corrupted. You can well imagine the carnage that would ensue. As such, Admiral Blowfishwin has decided to keep those involved to a minimum and lead the investigation herself. And I would have you at my side. What say you? Yeah! Let's fight together. This will be just like you made me... Or just like when you shot at people to test my armor. You have my thanks. We will depart at once to meet with our Sahagan allies and gather what knowledge we can, that we might devise a proper plan of attack. They are due to arrive at South Tide Gate soon. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Merlin Blowfishwin. That is her name now. The Admiral has arranged for a meeting to take place with our Sahagan collaborators at South Tide Gate. Pray join her there as soon as you are able. Alright. South Tide Gate. It's going to be easier to just do this. Oh, okay. I know where that is. I go here all the time as I'm grinding down my Beast Tribe stuff. With my now level 50 Paladin. Yeah, in a fantasy world, there has to be one race that's names are all consonants. That's just the way it goes. Or just a random mishmash of letters that don't always make sense. Merlwib. It's well past our agreed-upon meeting time, but the Sahagan are nowhere to be seen. They did not seem the sorts to break their word. This bodes ill. Let us leave this place to the guards and search Halfstone for any sign of them. Alright, time to search for any sign of them. Whoa, oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Just double check. I think I have everything repaired that I need, though. There we go. A fate! No, we can't have a fate. Psst! What is this thing? Noel is in danger. Quickly to his aid. Down there? Alright, we'll fly away. You've got this one, it looks like. Fell Beast. You okay, Noel? Psh, many thanks, Shorewalker. Pray tell, is my companion safe? I think so. Merlwib's got it. Psh, the Admiral herself comes to our aid. Glad tidings indeed. You too have my boundless gratitude for saving my life. Let us quit this place before those beasts return. Alright, back up to Merlewib. Had the Admiral not come to our rescue when she did, I shudder to think what would have happened. Psh, relieved I am to see the both of you safe. Everyone's still alive. Good. But not if we stay out here too long. Inside, quickly. Though it's not really inside, it's just through the gate, right? There's no real inside to it. Psh, thank you, my friends. Those ghastly beasts would have made short work of us if you had not intervened. And yet, it brought me no joy to watch them die. For, unbelievable as it may sound, until a short time ago, they were none other than our very own spawn brothers. At first we thought them merely cursed, but our talismans and magics availed us not. Aye, 'twas no curse. 'Twas an evil like no other. Innocent souls transformed against their will into unholy beasts called blasphemies. Blasphemies? Pray tell us more. That would be your area of expertise, Callista. Well, you see, when people get real sad, they turn into these things and we have to kill them. So don't become sad. Or despair too much. Psh, turned into beasts by the power of despair? This is horrifying indeed. Thus far, the phenomenon here in Lenosha has been limited to the Sahagin. Why is that? Psst, I cannot say. Yet I wonder if the crushing tides are involved in some way. I know naught of this crushing tide. Word of them has yet to reach you, I see. It all began when the Indigo Matriarch, the queen of our kind, was stricken with a grave malady. Tragic as this was, there was only one small solace. She was not fond of shore walkers, and so deprived of her leadership, more of my kind came to see the wisdom in making peace with Lim-Salominsa. There remain, of course, those who would oppose our cause. They formed a group called the Crushing Tide. Even now they seek to summon the Lord of the World anew, and consign all finless ones to the briny deep. However, they lack the crystals necessary to do so. Denied the power they crave, they can do naught but gnash their teeth in desperation. And you suspect these feelings of helplessness are the cause of their transformations? Just so. Those of our spawn brothers who turned into the beasts had been fraternizing with the Crushing Tide. Despite our differences, we cannot abandon our kin to such cruel fate. Yet we must be careful not to drive them to still deeper despair. Yes, we must consider the situation carefully, lest we begin destruction upon all our kind. Tell me this, are the Crushing Tide even now under Leviathan's thrall? If freed from their drowned state, might they not listen to reason? Were it only so simple. All but a few are long since cured. They walk this path of their own free will. In that case, they may yet be dissuaded from their present course. For the sake of our nascent alliance, we will do all we can to save your brethren. Fortunately, a most capable ally stands with us, for this woman has bested many a formidable foe, including Leviathan. Pish! The great Callista Tobu in the flesh! Honored am I to stand in your presence. Together we will weather this storm and usher in a new age of harmony. This I swear. There is much to be done. For now, let us return to our homes and prepare as best we can for the trials ahead. Should we discover aught of value, we'll be sure to share it with you. I ask that you do the same. Psh, we shall. Until such time, I watch over my spawn brothers and pray that no more succumb to the change. All right, back to the Maelstrom Command. So it doesn't seem like, and maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like these are going to be, as in-depth as the Shadowbringers role quests were. Could be wrong. There could be a lot of story development out of it still. And maybe that just means we're learning about the different beast tribes. Because I'm just assuming, this is the only one I've played, obviously, so far, that's who we're working with, along with the Alliance commanders in the different places. Listening to me voice a Sahagan is a worse fate than being forced to eat the brown part of the banana. The nub? Just nubbing it? I had a coworker. Well, technically, he's still my coworker, but I actually worked directly with him more at my previous job. But he would always do that. He'd peel the banana from the bottom and then eat all of it and then eat the nub on the top, the brown part on top first. And it was just, I don't know, something about it just is wrong, right? It's just wrong. Alright, so I'm guessing then we'll have until 87 until the next leg of this quest, probably. Could be wrong. Whoa. Oh. The Admiral told me everything. Thank the Navigator that you were there to dispatch those terrible beasts. Oh, the brown spots. So yeah, so he'd peel the banana from, not from the stem, but from the other side, and then the brown tip, he would eat that. We always called it the nub. Welcome back. Thanks to you and Noel, I now possess a proper understanding of the challenge we face. 'Tis a daunting task that lies before us. We'll continue to cooperate with the Sahagan to learn all we can. Once we have located the blasphemy, I will have need of your strength. Till then, I ask that you remain at the ready. Clearly, the storm clouds have only begun to gather. Oh, no, it is ready right now. The Crushing Tide. The Secretariat has recent developments to share. Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just this moment returned from a meeting with the Sahagan. She works fast. I shall inform her of your arrival. But yeah, the bruises on the banana, I always try to eat around those, too. Because it's the mushy, gross parts. Ah, Callista, I'm glad you're here. We have decided on our next course of action. As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occurring among the Sahagan may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. Thus far, those who succumb to the change have all been affiliated with the Crushing Tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon, as well as address their grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. To that end, I would propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagan allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we will share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, we will pursue a dialogue with the Crushing Tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table, and then see what can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for the spawning grounds. 'Tis a discussion I intend to approach with an open mind. 'Twill be no easy task, but we succeeded with the kobolds, and I have faith that we will succeed with the Sahagin as well, so long as we parley in good faith. I can only hope the Crushing Tides share that sentiment. We'll be more positive. You're wise to temper your expectations, but I would not abandon hope ere we try. At any rate, Noel has sent word that one Dao, a priest who styles himself the leader of the Crushing Tide, has grudgingly agreed to hear us out. I will parley with him face to face at the Sapsa spawning grounds, and would have you at my side, if you do not object, that is. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at South Tidegate when you are ready. From there, we will go together. That's what you meant where the bruise is? Just couldn't find the right word? Alright, so let's mix this up then, and let's head to the Crystarium. Crystarium. Tomato. Alright, probably over to the tower itself, no? Oh no, we have to go to the gate. Bum, 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 bum. There it is. So peaceful at night in Norvrant. There you are. Just follow the mass of people here. Callista, you are returned. Nod. Have you been well, you and the others? We've no shortage of troubles, but we're well enough. Then things are much the same for you as they were here. My lord is doubtless enjoying himself. He said this to you? Those exact words? Oh, to know that he is happy. It fills my heart with joy. Thank you, Callista, for taking care of him. Anytime. When next you see him, please tell him not to overexert himself. Futile a request though it is. That is true. And tell him that all is well here. The peace you gifted us continues, and we work hard to build new lives for ourselves. In the course of this, we occasionally bicker, but we've never been more optimistic for the morrow. If I had to mention one dilemma, it would be the question of our governance. Even as we speak, debate rages on over how we should run the city in the Exarch's absence. Most are of a mind that the Settlement Council should continue to oversee the general running of the Crystarium, while representatives are elected to determine policy and handle diplomacy. Thus far, nothing is set in stone, but however we choose to proceed, we will not replace our Lord. No one could. But somebody has to take over. Have we recently observed any unusual phenomena? No, I cannot say there have been. Curious that you should ask me this question, though. Some days ago, Reen came and asked the very same. She was rather unsettled, in stark contrast to how cheerful she has been of late. So she's got, like, some sort of feeling. Reen has been dedicating herself to the restoration of the empty, you see. Though it will take many long years, the goal seems to have given her a newfound sense of purpose and fulfillment. So when I saw her in a state of such worry, I couldn't help but feel worried in turn, especially since she wouldn't tell me what troubled her. I dare say she would be more willing to confide in you. May I ask you to broach the subject with her? Sure. You wish to enter the umbilicus? Very well, I shall fetch the key at once, and take the opportunity to find Reen. Please wait for me in the city, in front of the Cabinet of Curiosity, shall we say. I will be along as soon as I can. Huh. Strong like bull. Franard. If the Exarch ever worries for Captain Lena, tell him to rest easy. We're all looking after her, like she looks after us. Kellarth. It feels like only yesterday that she came to me, an untested recruit. Now she is in all ways a dependable comrade. At risk of sounding like an old man, it's a joy to watch young ones come into their own. I cannot help but wonder if the Exarch felt this way as he watched over us. Sure did. Back to the Crystarium. Nice little ditty going on the piano right now. To the Cabinet of Curiosity. Cabinet of Curiosity. Find my spot. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending Duty Finder registrations. Alright, I'm going to use the restroom then quick before we jump into that. You're going to start playing as Reaper? Nice. Jump into another melee DPS role. You have to let me know what you think of it. I've heard like nothing but good things from people that have been playing it, so online. It'll probably be a while until I would try that. Granted, I have lots of gear for it, so maybe it makes sense for me to level that up, since then I can parse out a lot of my maiming gear, since I have it all for Dragoon right now from 70 to 80 plus. So, I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, we are back. Okay, let's wait for Lena then. Unskippable cutscene. That's the first time I've ever seen it say that. Do my old eyes deceive? Is that truly Callista? Picked the wrong time to take my last bite. Ha! It is! Full glad am I to see you hale and whole, my friend. What a wonderful surprise it is to have you back with us, and at this most opportune time. In case you haven't heard, we are planning to produce a tome chronicling the events from the Flood to the Knight's return. For this project, we intend to draw upon records kept by the world's peoples. Historical and contemporary first-hand accounts will be the centerpiece of the new tome. But yours would be the one to crown them all. I've been asked to contribute a chapter on the soul, a subject that is key to understanding much of your endeavors. In the course of developing the spirit vessel, I gained valuable insights into travel beyond the rift, knowledge that will allow me to attest to your existence and deeds. Yeah! There is no end to the questions I would ask you, but if you could indulge me just one for now. In your quest to restore the Knight, you faced many a formidable foe. Among them, who offered you the greatest struggle? Titania, driven mad by light and loneliness. Actually, that one wasn't that bad. Vothri and his misguided self-righteousness. I'm trying to remember. I think I died quite a bit against Vothri. I could be wrong. I don't remember dying. I remember dying a lot more at the final battle of the dungeon prior to Hades than the actual fight against Hades, I think. I'm going to go with Vothri. Ah yes, Lord Vothri, former leader of Yulmore and the final Light Warden you cast down. Building his paradise on Mount Gulg, he proclaimed his existence immaculate and took the name Innocence. Your reckoning with him was, without a doubt, a defining moment in history, and we will see that it features prominently in the tome. I know you'd love to talk her ear off, Morin, but we really should be on our way. Those documents from Yulmore won't collect themselves. Of course. And afterwards, would you care to join me for tea? I was hoping you might clarify a few points in your treatise. Till next time, then, do tell the others to look after themselves. Our overzealous friend in particular, remind him not to overexert himself. Again and again till his ears fall off, if that's what it takes for him to take it to heart. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Alright, now we're just going to look around and somebody else is going to pop out at us. Waiting. 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 Is that the Warrior of Darkness? The kids. It's her! It's really her! What are you doing here? If you're going to battle, I can give you some medicine. I made it myself. Best not, Riki. You'd only give her a stomach ache. We've come to see Morin to get his advice. One of the guard finally agreed to teach us how to fight, but first we need to choose a fighting style. While I know that I want to be a mage, Arkil isn't sure. Magic isn't my thing, so I was thinking of taking up the axe, or the sword, or maybe the bow. They all seem right, but it's hard to decide, so I thought I'd ask Morin. He knows a lot about lots of things. He isn't there? Here? Aww. Rat farts. Oh, why don't you have the Warrior of Darkness choose for you? What do you think suits Arkil best? Axe, sword, or bow? For smiting your opponents, the axe. For protecting your friends, the sword. For fighting and hunting both, the bow. So, at my highest level, my bard is the highest level. Technically, I guess Red Mage is a sword class. This is stupid. No one would choose to play bard. Red Mage, I guess, technically could be considered a sword. So I'll do the sword. The sword. If you took up the sword, you could be just like Brandon, the Warrior of Light. I love that tale. Let's borrow the book today. It's really popular, though. I hope it's still there. Thanks for helping me decide, Warrior of Darkness. I'll start with that style, and maybe try something else later on. And when I get really strong, I hope to have a bout with you. You went with the axe because he looks like young Ardbert. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I suppose they probably mentioned Ardbert then if that's the case, right? Ardbert, the Warrior of Light. Alright. Just looking around for more people to come chat to me. Next, will it be the healer person? Such fun she's been having, basking in the adoration of musty old bookworms and wide-eyed younglings. But does she spare a thought for me? Of course not. Behind? I've waited and waited and waited, but she won't so much as acknowledge the presence of her beautiful... Oh, okay, Feo-ul. Beautiful branch, even though they're right here. Such a heartless thing our sapling is. Cold and cruel and heartless. Oh, Feo-ul, I need you. Yeah, we'll do this one. We'll play into it. Oh, faithful Feo-ul, loveliest of branches, how I have missed you. If you truly missed me, you should have cried for me at the top of your lungs the instant you arrived. To make up for it, you will call with twice the passion next time, though for there to be a next time, you've some few struggles to overcome. So, my adorable sapling, the world is on the verge of destruction, is it? Hee, how do I know this? Joined as we are, spying on you is as simple as sliding down the back of a rainbow. Would that I could aid you in your quest, but the fate of we Fey folk is bound to that of the star. Whither it goes, so too do we follow. Such is our way. The most I could do for you is spare you the pain by gifting you the sweetest of eternal dreams. But if escape's not to your liking, then you must struggle with your fellow mortals. I'll struggle. Ah, but here are the ones you were waiting for. I wonder what manner of conclusion awaits at Tale's End. Doink. It makes sense that Feo-ul would be here. Lena and Reen. I'd say it's been a long time no see, Reen, but we were literally just playing alongside of you like a week ago. A little over a week ago. My apologies for the delay. Callista, it's so wonderful to see you again. You doubtless have much catching up to do, so I shall leave you to it. I've taken the liberty of unlocking the umbilicus, so you may enter at your leisure. Alright, Reen. What do you got going on? I'm relieved to hear that everyone is well. I've had this feeling like a pit in my stomach, and I was afraid that something might have happened. Interesting. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but it's just that I'm the Oracle of Light, but I've never spoken with Hydaelyn. Never once heard her call. Even so, I've always had this feeling deep inside me, a connection to something immense. These past few days, though, that connection has wavered. As if that immense something was distant, then close, then distant again. And then the other night, I was jolted awake by the feeling it had been completely severed. Wanting some fresh air, I went to open the window, and to my horror, the sky was ablaze, like during the star shower. So she was seeing like some of the visions we were seeing. But then I blinked and everything was normal. The next day, no one said a thing. No one else had seen what I had seen. As far as I could tell, nothing was out of the ordinary. I began to wonder if it was a figment of a half-remembered dream. Callista, what are you not telling me? I have to know, please. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. Explain it all to me. So you're probably going to die, because we're probably going to fail. But we'll be fine. We'll be on a ship, which is the moon. It wasn't my imagination, then. The doom we witnessed in Amarot has come again. Callista explains it all, yes. I can't believe it. Like I told you before, all is well here in the First. So don't worry about us, please. Look only to the threat before you. We're fine right now, and even if we weren't, we've learned how to survive. Should the final days reach us here as well, you may be assured we won't go quietly. No, we'll hold on until you can find a way to save all our worlds. So long as you continue your fight, so too will we, united in purpose beneath a blazing sky. Yes. Weapon that we won't use right away. Hope upon a flower. Reen wears a look of steely resolve. Like Steely Dan? You're headed to the Umbilicus to consult with Elpis, right? Just matter-of-factly. I'll do some consulting of my own and speak with Lena. Decide how we might best prepare for the final days. So it's farewell for now, but we'll see each other again, I'm certain of it. Well, yes, we have to finish the Eden raids. We lived through the Flood and the tyranny of the Light Wardens. We're survivors. Do what you need to do and know that we will too. That is true. They're probably more prepared than, like... They're probably more prepared than the sources for what's happening. Dasselgate. There we go. They've been steeled by the fighting they've already had to make. Had to do. Some bitrate issues. We'll struggle through for now. Crystarium Gatekeep. Ah, Mistress Callista, welcome back. The captain has told me all. Give the word and I will show you to the ocular. Sure. There's going to be a door there that takes us to Umbilicus to talk to Elpis. Echoes of the past. Well, you know, Grahatia was just doing some light reading. Looks bigger than it used to. That's what she said.
Biometric authentication complete. Please state your business.
I'm here to speak to Elpis, who is trapped inside you.
Acknowledged. Reinitializing Circus Tower systems. Searching for Elpis entity. Target located in subterranean core power accumulator. Projecting image.
I mean, he can't be happy, right? Just being trapped inside the Crystal Tower?
My home. My friends. No more than a dream.
Doesn't seem like he's tormented completely.
You. Why have you awakened me? I no longer sense those places beyond, or Lord Zodiac. You must explain all.
Callista explains it all again.
So, he is fallen, and my brethren's souls returned to the star. The doom we sacrificed so much to prevent is come again. Old burdens now yours to bear. But if this is Fandaniel's design, then I, as Elidibus, have a duty to fulfill. Your unsolicited act has restored to me some few memories of the convocation. Such knowledge as I have, I will share.
Thank you.
I do this not for you. I merely perform my duty, as I have ever done.
Alright, we got a lore dump here.
Ah, the end. Your understanding of what caused the final days is consistent with our own. The decay first took root where the currents were weakest. Yes, a conclusion drawn by him, Fandaniel. Not the him of here and now, but as I knew him, long, long ago. Having shed light upon the phenomenon, he dedicated himself to devising a countermeasure. Were it not for his knowledge of the Celestial, we would never have made the connection, and thence forestalled the final days. And though he inherited that noble soul, how different this last incarnation, so consumed by self-loathing and hate. Elpis. Yes, the name is familiar to me.
As in, can you help us, please?
Yet I know it not as a flower, but a place. A testing facility for determining which of our creations were fit to be released into the world. Many worked there, and before joining the convocation and assuming the title of Fandaniel, he was their chief. He was Hermes. That is all I know. The crystals tell little of the lives the 14 led prior to their induction. Elpis itself would tell even less. Nary a ruin has survived. Wait. I saw you there. In Elpis. No. I did not. But I did. I did. A lingering trace of impossibility. And a truth that fills my heart. My memories remain clouded, I fear. However, they have revealed to me one possible course. You must travel to Elpis, to the time when Hermes served as its chief. In glimpsing the Exarch's memories, not only did I make his summoning magic mine own, I also mastered the workings of this tower, which, having absorbed my empowered essence, now harbors an abundance of energy. As such, I believe I can deliver you unto the past, unto that place and that precise moment.
Alright, so now it's going to be time travel.
Given the eons that must be traversed, the gateway will not be fully formed.
I don't know what that means.
Your form will be less tangible still than those warriors of light I had summoned. In all likelihood, none will be able to see or hear you.
Okay.
Yet even should you manage to interact with others, you will be unable to effect meaningful change.
You gotta right around the butterfly effect possibility.
For the reality you wish to save, the reality to which you must return, exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present. Cannot unmake the sorrow and suffering fated to come. In full knowledge of this, will you still entrust your life to your foe and make the journey?
Yes. I don't think we have a choice. We do not have a choice.
Very well. I shall cast you unto the river of time. Let this be my final act.
How do I get back?
You must input the commands. I no longer have the authority. First, you must reconfigure the systems, that the tower's ether may be channeled for the magic. The preparations are complete. The gateway will soon open. Return at once to the ocular.
Alright. So that was just Lord...
All appears to be in order. The ether flows unimpeded.
That was just Lord Dump Part A. We're going to Lord Dump Part B next.
The magic should consume every last mote of my essence. Why are you surprised? Did I not say that this will be my final act?
He did.
Lord Zodiac is no more.
That's
There
true.
is nothing for me here.
That is true.
The ones I love and long to see again are waiting. In that promised land. Beyond memory and dream. Now go, warrior of light. Go, and do not look back.
Linibus's voice actor's top notch. I mean, it's been the case forever, but...
Well, Heidelin, I take my leave of you. Yours is the mantle of the last of us. May you have the joy of it, the burden, and the solitude. It falls to you now. You and your champion to save our star.
Warp speed! Engage! Are we gonna see things in the little, like, orbs that fly by again? always hate this part! Unable to execute certain actions due to area restrictions. We can still return. Hope upon a flower. Explore the facility. Guide like the man stands dutifully by the aetherite-like device. A guide for this facility in all likelihood. You attempt to get the man's attention, but if he sees or hears you, he gives absolutely no indication. As Elpis warned, it appears your form is intangible. The device is reminiscent of an aetherite. Perhaps it is possible to attune with it. Despite attempting to channel and focus your energies, you fail to attune with the device. You can only assume it operates differently. Got a conversing woman over here. This is the right place, yes? Propylaean? Judging by the woman's words, the facility is called Propylaean. Easy for you to say. You attempt to gently prod the woman to attract her attention, but feel nothing, and it seems neither does she. Oh, there we go. Black-robed man. The remarkably large man wears a black robe and a half-mask, much like the phantoms you encountered in Mare Lamentorum and the recreated Amarat. It would seem you have made it to your destination. Yes. You gesticulate wildly and shout all manner of greetings and obscenities, but the man does not so much as glance in your general direction. Sturdy door. You suspect this door leads outside, but how to open it? Can we just walk through it? We're pretty incorporeal. One would think you just walk through it. Or is it going to be one of those things where you have to wait for someone to open the door to go through? I said open, damn it!
And here we are, Elpis. Well, well, how rare to receive you in person. To what do we owe the honor?
Oh, just a few odd tasks. We'll be here a while.
You're welcome to stay as long as you see fit, of course. As a matter of procedure, however, I must ask that you kindly remove your masks.
Why? You have yours on. No one would be able to see or hear you. Not that you're permeable. That's true.
Come now. Is this truly necessary? Surely you can tell who we are.
Who you are, perhaps, but I am far less infamous. Regardless, if we do not follow protocol, 'tis our hosts who would be held accountable. So, please, do favor us with your handsome face.
Satisfied?
I thank you for your cooperation. You are free to go about your business.
By the by, you see it too, yes?
Zeppla had to get a change of underwear after this section of the game, you think? She got a little excited.
I haven't the foggiest what you're talking about.
That's odd. It's right here. A bit thin in the ether, but there's no mistaking it. The color of its soul is almost identical to Azem's. Do you suppose she created it? Rather unusual for a familiar to have a soul, though.
Don't ask me. All I know is that it's trouble. Doubly so if it's her spitting image. So let's leave it be. Come now.
You bastard. You know who I am.
It's trying to say something, but it's literally too intangible to form words. Why don't you give it some ether? Spare a snifter of your bounteous reserves.
Who do you take me for?
Why, a dear friend, of course. One who wouldn't let acts of kindness, such as my accompanying him on errands to far-flung outposts, go unrewarded?
I suggest you close your eyes, or this may be unpleasant. You may open your eyes.
Oh, you even adjusted it.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm a little taller now.
The better to indulge your whim. This way, it will be easier to communicate.
How very thoughtful of you. And may I applaud your artful reinforcement. Without further ado then. Greetings.
Oh, okay.
I am Hythlodaeus, Chief of the Bureau of the Architect.
So I was right before when he showed up.
Sulking beside me is the most honorable Emet-Selch of the Convocation of 14. And how might we address you, my new friend? A fine name. And I'm pleased to see you understand our words. So, tell us, whence have you come? The thinness of your essence suggests you weren't created here. You do not know? Or cannot say? Allow me to ask a different question then. What brings you here?
Let's go with this. Let's not be so on the nose. I want to learn about Elpis.
Well now, the same as us. Perhaps Azim wished to come too, but had to settle for a familiar.
If she truly wished to be here, then she would be.
Right you are. My apologies if we've given offense. The two of us can discern the color of souls, you see, and yours happens to resemble that of a friend. And with your purpose matching our own besides, we jumped to a hasty conclusion. We are here to speak with Hermes, the chief overseer of this facility, which we also intend to tour in order to gain greater insight into the man's work. We, I say, though this is Emet-Selch's charge. I am here only to serve as his guide. And I should be happy to serve as yours as well, by way of an apology for the misunderstanding.
Wait, are you suggesting that we bring it along on official business? This thing we know next to nothing about?
If you harbor suspicions, better to keep it close than leave it to its own devices. Wouldn't you agree? Besides, having a mysterious life form in tow is the norm rather than the exception here.
So is this going to be like the Sea of Clouds looking place, I'm guessing, then? Or like Zeal, what a lot of people
Welcome, my
thought.
friends, to the testing ground of creation at Heaven's Edge. Elpis.
Yep. The world unsundered, Elpis. Is that Vana then?
Presence.
It is. There's our glow dog.
Hermes! Visitors! We have visitors!
What secrets are you hiding, I wonder?
Initially, you thought Hythlodaeus was us because he's androgynous as fuck, and instead of making different heads for either gender, they just do something in between. He's a Final Fantasy character. Final Fantasy is really good at making androgynous characters. In case you didn't know, it's rude to stare. Stop. This is hardly my first time here, but the scenery never fails to take my breath away. Why, it feels as if you could reach out and touch the heavens. Now then, to begin our guided tour. Perhaps you already know these things, but for the sake of thoroughness, I shall start with the basics. Using concepts to give shape to ether, creation magics allow us to bring forth anything we desire, be it inanimate objects or living beings. Anyone may conceive of concepts, but they must all undergo evaluation at the Bureau of the Architect. As part of that process, living beings and certain arcane entities may be sent here to Elpis for in-depth observation and study. A fascinating facility, isn't it? I dare say you will enjoy touring it with us. Petaluda hunt. We get something. Hythlodaeus is looking you up and down. Now then, our friend Hermes. Aside from overseeing the facility, he also conducts his own research. Chances are he will be at the main observation hub, so let us seek him out there first. Attired as you are, however, you stand out a little too much. Our dear Emet-Selch wishes to keep a low profile for his errand, so... Do you know how to make a robe? The basic concept will do. No? In that case, Emet-Selch? No. Your whim, your responsibility. You're getting not another thimble of ether out of me. Oh, the way he scrimps sometimes, you'd think he wasn't a nigh-bottomless font of magic. Very well, I shall make the robe, but perhaps you can assist. Come, let us search for the requisite material. Demokritos. Those researchers are from the Academia Anator's words of Halmarut, here to observe the state of the local flora. I wish they would give equal attention to the ambient environment, specifically how much noise they are adding to it with their little debate. There are ether currents here too, okay. Crazy. Philimites Nothos, huh? I discover a new location. Ophion. Emmet. Oops. Yes, these creatures should suffice. An etheric rope. I want you to use it to capture, shall we say, 2 Pt.9. There are 3 species here, I believe. Any 2 different kinds would serve. Now, I should mention that the strength of the rope is tied, no pun intended, to the strength of its user. As your ether is still thin compared to ours, you'll need to weaken the Pt.9 first. Good luck. No means no. Just be grateful I'm even willing to wait. Remember, it's a pair of Pt.9 we require. Any 2 different kinds should serve. We'll do the purple one here. Whoops. Alright, we got one. Oh, I wanted to do the red one. Alright, we'll just do the blue one. Kanye here is gonna get it. Oops. There we go. You've caught the Pt.9? Come, come, let us see. There you go. Yes, these fine fellows will do nicely. And now for a spot of reversion. He's androgynous even by Final Fantasy standards, yes. There, it's ready. It's nothing fancy, but then we're trying not to stand out. Try it on for size. You turn living beings into clothing just like that? Won't someone be angry with us for using those creatures? Let's try that. Oh, it's fine. There's no one around to tell us off. And besides, we can always make more Pt.9. They need only a tiny amount of ether. It may take some effort to get the form and composition right, but anyone familiar with the concept should be able to manage. Well and good to disguise and educate it, but it won't fool anyone who can see worth a damn. Fair point, but at the very least it should spare you unwanted attention from casual observers. Rassafrass. Emet-Selch speaks true. Even dressed like us, your unusual nature will be plain to those who think to look. Should someone question your presence, don't make up excuses, much less try to explain what you actually are. No, best to simply say that you're a familiar. The question is whose? I mean, you guys said Azem, it might as well... Ah, of course, Azem's. If you say you belong to her, people will give you the benefit of the doubt for any and all outlandish behavior. Exploiting our associate's absence? For lack of her presence, absolutely. Were she here, she'd have been the first to propose the idea, and you know it. With that, your story is settled. Let us continue with our errand. Alright, so we get Sophist's Robe, Podea, and Hupodema. As dubious as it is, passing you off as Azem's familiar is probably the best approach. Should she take offense that others so readily believe her recklessness is to blame, she is welcome to mend her ways. That's funny. Pass as a child in your original size? I think not. Augmented or no, your ether is still far too thin to be considered normal. In search of Hermes. Hythlodaeus is ready to continue on if you are. If you are ready, let us continue along the path to Anagnoris. The place serves as an observation hub and residence both. Someone there should be able to point us in the direction of Hermes. I suppose we'll play along. Oh no, you didn't even get through 81 level? I'll probably take a lot more damage here. Too many people want in, yeah. Yeah, it's an uphill battle right now. It'll start to calm down here, I'm guessing, in like a week or so. I take quite a bit more damage here. Woof. How's it going otherwise, Martha? Be lurking in the background since I'm so far in. Yeah. Yeah, we're in, like, heavy spoiler land at the moment. Tired this week, but you're good? Good, good, good. I'm doing well. I can't complain. I have to work late night tonight, so streaming throughout the day. And, yeah, hopefully upgrade goes well tonight and I don't have anything to worry about. You have a freelance tomorrow? Okay. So you've got work to do over the weekend as well? So yeah, so, I don't know, hopefully it goes alright. See if we're getting close to this ether current. 15 yalms to the southwest. Yeah, it's nice and peaceful here. In this area that will not be named. Oh, south. So down here. I'm trying my best. 343 yalms to the west. So farther to the west. We won't be able to get over there yet, I don't think. Gonna go so I can keep streaming. Alright, sounds good. Thanks for the lurk, Martha. And we'll chat again soon. I'm guessing after tomorrow I'll probably be through the story stuff. So then things will be... I'm hoping anyway. We'll see. So then after that, then we'll be back into more spoiler-neutral terms. Oh, yeah, yeah. And feel free to take your time with it. Like, the last thing, like, I would want is... be fun to play at the same time. Yeah. There we go, there we go. Whoa. Alright, so let's cut the corner here a little bit. Sometimes you get tips from my gameplay. Well, hopefully I don't lead you astray like I did one of my friends and completely screwed up the early part of the game for him because I told him to ignore the blue quests and he got really screwed up with some things. So, yeah, that was my bad. I didn't understand how it worked. So, and then I realized, like, after that, because, like, when he started playing, I was like, I'd taken a break before that, and it just jumped back in. And so I was like, oh, I just usually walk by the blue quests. Because at that point, I had, like, plenty of other things in my quest log. I was like level, like, 52 or something like that. I was mid-Heavensward at the time. So, I'm going to take another quick break, and then we'll be back. And when we get back, we'll be into big spoilers again. So, thanks for stopping by, Martha. We'll see you while you're lurking. Otherwise, yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, we are back. Europe, Zodiac Q right now, 4,229. Yeah, well, I suppose, because it's prime time for you guys. So that makes sense. The other night, when I was going into... I'm on Ultros. When I was going in, it was like at 4,000 some, and then it was at 5,000 after I got booted. And then it did some really weird stuff. Where I dropped out. I got dropped out of again. I got like the 2002 error, and then I started getting like these weird 1096 errors about the world being unavailable or whatever. And then when I got in... it was 1 in the queue, but it was like that for 45 minutes. And then I got booted out again. And when I connected back in, it, like, brought up the loading screen. But it's done that a few times and then gone to the queue. And then it dropped me right into the game. I was just like, holy crap, I'm in. But it probably took, like, an hour and a half that night to get in. So, snow... is piling up a bit now. So, already quite a bit of progress on the snow front. There we go. Yeah, we're supposed to get 6 to 14 inches of snow today. And right now, it just started about 2 hours ago, and it's already starting to pile up. There wasn't much on the railing at that point. Yeah, it's been cold enough now that there's actually been some snow that stayed on the ground, so it probably will stick this time. And then when you play You're Like a Squirrel, you see something different, you go there. You don't mind tutorials. Didn't know there was the synth option until I mentioned it. Yes, the Christmas tree is in prime time now. I actually put it on when it's not streamed because it's that time of year. So it's good. It's ready to rock and roll. All right, so now it is time to get back in. We are going to be seeing some. It is branding at this point. Whenever I do go ahead and get emotes made, I will have to make a Christmas tree emote. So that is going to happen. But yes, so we're going to jump into the game again. Going to be hardcore spoilers. So I'm going to talk to this guy first, and then we'll get back to the people that are huge spoilers. So much to do, so much bother involved in getting it done. I could have a familiar perform my duties instead, but even creating one in the first place is far more effort than I'm willing to expend. Yes, thanks for stopping by, Martha. All right. Let's see what our good friend has to say. I was wondering what she was examining, but it seems to be the bush itself. Let's see if this observer knows Hermes' whereabouts. Yes, can I help you? We wish to speak with Chief Hermes. Do you know where we might find him? Well, now, by your mask, I assume you are one of the 14. I wasn't aware there was to be a visitation. Between you and us, it's something of a surprise. Your discretion in the matter would be appreciated. I see. My lips are sealed. The chief should be out conducting observations as usual. His focus of late has been aquatic creatures, so I expect you will find him at one of the pools here. The pools, you say? Many thanks and apologies for disrupting your work. I say, Hythlodaeus. Well, I've never met Hermes. You know him well, do you not? That being the case, couldn't you simply find him by his ether? Aye, that I could. As you know, Emet-Selch and I can discern the color of souls. By the same token, we can also see ether quite keenly and from great distances. With this skill, I could readily locate Hermes, but I felt that it would be a waste of an opportunity. We're here to perform an assessment, after all. By searching the ordinary way, we stand to gain insight into Elpis and the man in charge of it. This is as much for your own enjoyment, like as not, but point taken. If you're going to accompany us, make yourself useful and help us look for Hermes. According to his profile, he has short, dark hair. So you know, it's because we're an Elpis that we don't have our cowls up. A special exemption due to the need to be aware of dangerous creatures. Elsewhere, we do not exhibit our individuality. It's unseemly. This is all common sense, but I would not assume you possess any. Yeah, that's him, all right. It's a rare treat indeed to be able to search for someone by their appearance, and I thank you for humoring me. Come, let's find our man. Ah. Still looking for the chief. He should be out observing somewhere, likely at one of the pools. Zeuxis. What shall we do next, my little ones? A spot of sunbathing, perhaps? Nikias. Are you lost, my familiar friend? Anagnoresis is not the safest place to wander unattended. You had best return to your master's side. Hey, Agabu. It appears to have moss growing on its head. I was waiting for the other one to say something. We'll get that mount shortly enough. Fiano. Hey, we have that mount. My, what a curious familiar. I suppose your creator sent you here to learn our ways and perhaps achieve some degree of enlightenment. So, what would you ask of me? Tell me about yourself. Like most of my colleagues here at Anagnoresis, I am charged with observing the various creations in our care and assessing their suitability for life on Aetheris. It's an enormous responsibility, of course, though the sense of achievement from bringing new species into the world makes it all worthwhile. What kind of place is this? Anagnoresis is one of the most important facilities in Elpis, and it is here that we ascertain the various merits and shortcomings of the various flora and fauna in our care. It derives its name from the ethos at the center of our work, that being the discovery of the creation's true nature. Only by allowing them to coexist in an environment such as this do they reveal unto us the essence of their being. Oh, we have an Aetheryte Plaza. We had best attuned to it. Oh, we should have attuned to the one in the first area, but we never had the option to, right? Yuridome. Extraordinary. It's not every day I see such a charming familiar. Why, I'd much rather observe a pretty little thing like you than all those brutish creatures everyone insists on making. You don't say. Oh, we have a gemstone trader here too, huh? Well. Oh, apparently we can't, unless... There we go. We just had to look up. What can we buy? What can we buy? Don't ask me why, but my latest creation won't eat anything but bicolored gemstones. I'm going to need to get my hands on more of them, and fast. Oh, okay. Have to progress farther before we can get access to it. And what have we here? It looked like he had, like, alien eyes. You overexert yourself, and your health will suffer. Rest, I beg of you. Okay. Not much to sell right now. Phaedius? For a familiar, you appear quite inquisitive. Perhaps you are created to learn. Well, if there's anything you wish to know, I would be glad to explain. Paramonos! Observing voracious predators and the like is an incredibly dangerous occupation, which is precisely why I keep my distance and leave the rest to you familiars. After all, I am far too important to risk my neck gathering dung samples and the like. Head over. We have to find one of the pools here. Ah, that looks like it might be, Hey. Kate Sith. Here we go. Bewinged girl. This must be his familiar then. They have such funny faces. And Hermes.
Huh. You are...
Oh! Different. You're different too. You and me. We're alike. Friends. I want to be... Wait. Please. Wait. Greetings and salutations. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. I wish only to hear your words, share your feelings, and know your thoughts.
Don't be alarmed. I'm just going to intrude on your mind.
May we please be friends? May we please be friends?
Ah, I see you found him.
It's Ladeus. It's been a while. Too long, I think.
Too long indeed for close collaborators. On this blessed occasion, I bring not only myself, but others who long to speak with you.
You were of the convocation.
Emet-Selch at your service. Do I have the honor of addressing Hermes, Chief Overseer of Elpis?
You do. You have traveled far for it.
Given your facility's purpose, its remote location is something of a necessity. Would that I didn't have to rely upon a guide.
Oh, you wound me. Have I not ever been an attentive and helpful friend? But moving along to more agreeable company, this one we chance to... Well, you certainly have her attention. Is she one of yours, Hermes?
Her name is Meteon. It means shooting star.
If I may make an observation, her ether is terribly thin. I fear she might dissipate at any moment. Nor do I believe you've made a submission to the Bureau. I would remember such a concept if you had.
I haven't, as you say. I judged it too early. She's a pet project of mine, still undergoing preliminary testing. But rest assured that I will attend in person ere long.
Very well. Being an authority on flying life forms, I appreciate that you are exacting in your work. I shall look forward to your submission.
The voice sounds familiar. I'm trying to place it.
Chit-chat, I would discuss official matters. By my coming, I trust you already anticipate the subject.
I have an inkling, yes. Please wait to the main building yonder. I shall join you as soon as I've returned these creatures to their homes.
Because that's, it sounds like it's the Amun voice from Fandanyo, is what it sounds like.
What's wrong, Hermes?
An amystoma is missing.
I may have found it. A creature with the self-same ether as those there, nestled in the boughs of a tree outside the grounds.
You're saying they can climb with their sorry excuses for limbs?
The fashion has been to imbue aquatic creatures with the power of flight, ever since the words of Metron created a sky-swimming fish. The ambystomas, too, can fly, if only slightly, and they could conceivably climb a tree. Whether they can come down safely, however... Excuse me.
It's different, though. I don't know if it is.
I'll help, too!
And what are we supposed to do with this lot?
Just leave them there.
May I suggest we split up? If you would be so good as to assist Hermes, Emet-Selch and I shall keep an eye on these adorable creations in the meantime.
The tenet of the words of Metron is to create aquatic life both unique and beneficial. Aquatic. What would possess them to put this creature in the sky? And is it even aquatic to begin with? The ambystoma was submitted to the Bureau not long ago, and I'm pleased to see it has found its way here. We'll make sure these little ones don't wander off like their adventurous fellow. Go on and lend Hermes a hand. Those little guys are based on real animals? Bird of Elpis. Very uniquely named. Oh. Tyrion. Hermes, are you alright? I didn't see him up there at first. That's funny. It seems Hermes and Pt.9 have found their quarry, a creature known in this age as an ambystoma. Yet though it has been safely extricated from the tree, Hermes appears to have found himself in quite the predicament. The ambystoma. Hermes saw it high up in the tree. He climbed up to get it, but it jumped on him and he slipped. Do you need a hand? No, I'm fine, if a little embarrassed. Now, for your own safety, please stand back. They're like salamanders and they're called axolotl? Nope. Ugh. Hermes, are you alright? Dun dun. Quite alright, yes. My apologies for making you worry, Pt.9. Both you and, Callista Tobu. Callista Tobu, you are called. An intriguing name. Somehow reminiscent of a new creation. Thank you for coming after me. As for you, little one, you must be more careful. You may be able to fly, but it doesn't mean you cannot fall and hurt yourself. Oh no, I had forgotten all about its fellows. What do you mean by that? Oh, those guys are watching. Truly. Oh, what a relief. I must thank Emet-Selch and Hythlodaeus when I return to them. But first, with the distractions out of the way, as Chief Overseer of Elpis, permit me to welcome you to our facility. I hope you will enjoy your time here. They eat those guys in Asia? Oh, really? I mean, basically anything can be eaten depending upon the culture you're in, right? The ambystoma stares at you unflinchingly as if regarding something novel. Don't know if they do the same in Mexico, where they're native to. Regarding it in turn, you notice it appears to be floating, if ever so slightly. I'm glad they're safe, Hermes and the ambystoma. Chest gear. Ponder, warrant, cherish, welcome. Having found the wayward ambystoma, Hermes is the picture of relief. Well, we mustn't keep the others waiting. Let us return to Anagnoresis. Only people outside of America eat weird food. There's probably some things that Americans eat that other people would scoff at. Our stuff, just instead of being like from animals, it's like processed, heavily processed sugar products. It's science food, yes. 105 yalms to the northwest. Northwest? Kanye's daughter? Don't you believe in science? I believe in science. 66 yalms to the north. I'm guessing we're coming this way at some point. But I want to get this ether current since I'm so close. That's not the way, though. That's a bookshelf. Alright, so there must be a way... Or it's just behind this building, probably? Yeah, this looks like this fits in here. Incognito. Oh, there it is. Philomethes Notos. Okay, we gotta go back to the other side now. Sorry, I don't speak Spanish. Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. You know I don't speak Spanish. Northwest. Oh, so it's up there. Oh, no, it's not up here, I don't think. It's up there. Boo! Alright, well, we'll be back over here at some point. Woo! Oh, Cupid! My apologies for the trouble. Owing to your kind assistance, all the Abmistomas are safe and well. I will presently send them back to their space, if you would go on ahead to the main building. Upon entering, you will see a table and chairs, a meeting area. We may speak there. Very well. Take care not to let the creatures slip away again. Will you be attending as well? If so, you should join the others at the building. Some creations stay outside. Others stay at Catissis, like the Ambistomas. Clear skies. While Emet-Selch has been accommodating thus far, he is the one who has business with Hermes. If you wish to attend, you will have to ask his permission. We'll have to eavesdrop. Sorry, I wasn't dropping no eaves.
This appears to be the place. And here is where we part ways. We will be discussing highly sensitive affairs. Only a select few may be privy to such knowledge, and that does not include someone who cannot or will not divulge their origins.
I mean, you just gotta say something about... It's about the final days, isn't it?
What? Will I have to remove you by force?
As he smiles. I have important things to say to him as well, or there are reasons I cannot speak freely.
Let's hear them then, these reasons of yours. Who knows? If I deem your mysterious cause worthy, I may even be inclined to offer my assistance.
I do not object to her attendance.
Hermes, this is highly irregular.
Perhaps, but I believe she can be trusted. Meteion would not have taken to her so quickly otherwise. Moreover, the presence of a third party may help me to maintain composure.
Oh, really? What are you so worked up about, Hermes?
As you wish, then. Behave yourself, do you hear?
Yes, Dad.
So, it's finally happened, then.
Aye. Van Daniel has declared his intention to step down, and named you as his preferred successor.
Okay.
In recognition of your knowledge and your works, the Convocation is giving the recommendation due consideration. As one who does not know you personally, I am to use my impartial eye to take your measure. And above all else, to ascertain your disposition towards the invitation. I understand that you and Van Daniel are close. He himself was once chief overseer of Elpis after all. I should not be surprised if you knew before anyone else that he wished to relinquish his office.
I did. He told me that when he fulfilled his purpose, he wished to pass the torch to me.
A torch you seem none too pleased to accept. Are you so averse to serving on the Convocation?
No, it's not that. For a humble researcher like myself to even be considered is an honor beyond words. No. What troubles me, what I struggle to come to terms with, is the very fact that Van Daniel is stepping down. Does this not mean that he will return to the Star?
Of his own volition, yes. Like so many others have before him.
Return to the Star? Does that mean... die?
Well now, that's not a word I hear often. Is that what you say here in Elpis? Mankind is the life of Atheris. Each of us, a drop of blood flowing through its veins, bearing sustenance. In our finite time upon it, 'tis our duty to make it a better place, that all who call it home, now and in future, may abide in happiness. To that end, we have dedicated ourselves to the pursuit of enlightened creation. And by our efforts did we transform this once untamed wilderness into the peaceful paradise you enjoy today. To return to the Star whence we came is a privilege afforded to we who have so loved and nurtured it. A choice embraced by those who have lived their lives to the fullest, in service to our world. And when they depart upon this journey, it is beautiful. Always.
The 14 are no exception. 'Tis believed no occasion is more felicitous than the fulfillment of one's duty. Our office becomes our lives, and to retire is to return, or so the majority of us hold. Some few have elected to eschew custom.
So it's like the Supreme Court.
Mayhap you feel Fandaniel's deeds do not warrant his return. Yet you should know his accomplishments as well as any. During his time, he conceived of countless outstanding concepts.
Except you have less power. It's true.
And channeling the wealth of experience he attained here in Elpis, he brought forth many new specimens.
I know of all this. I do. It's just... I cannot fathom why someone so great and wise, who could still do so much good, would want to end it all.
Ha! It's ironic.
Oh no. I've made her upset. Forgive me. I know I requested your presence. Might I trouble you to take Meteion outside? A change of scenery would do her good.
But I want to hear more. Hey, my linen gaiters sold for 21,000. Forgive me. I will make it up to you, I promise. Most would jump at the chance to serve in the convocation, and yet... Don't mind us, my friend. Please tend to Meteion. I'm sorry, Callista. I didn't mean... A walk. Perhaps we can go for a walk. Drunk. Hermes gets sad when he thinks about death. When others are sad, I'm sad too. That's how I am, how he made me. But don't worry, I'm fine now. So why did you come here? If I told you, I'd have to kill you. You want to learn about Elpis and Hermes? I'll teach you. I can teach you. We could take turns. I tell you something, then you tell me something. Sounds like fun. It will be, it will be. Where to start? Ah, yes. Let's talk to Memnon. He should be near the Aetheryte. I'm not good at explaining, but Memnon is. So I'll have him explain instead. She's accompanying me now. Ah, I'm gonna jump over this. Can you? Oh, you disappeared. Ah, the Aetheryte. Anyone can use it to teleport anywhere. Well, maybe not anywhere. Not to the ground or other isles. For that, you need teleporters. Oh, and permission. And what have we here? Though you look like a person, you have the horns and scales of a beast. I assume you are a familiar like Meteion. I keep... the name just makes me butcher it every time. Is there something you need? This is Callista. Could you teach her about Elpis? Ah, a newly arrived familiar, is she? Very well. I should be glad to introduce our fair facility to her. As you know, it is mankind's duty to make the star a better place. As part of this duty, we employ creation magics to bring forth new life. However, we cannot simply release our works into the world, for it would lead to chaos. No, any and all life forms must undergo extensive testing to determine their fitness to exist, testing which is conducted here in Elpis. Every candidate is subjected to rigorous study, in which we identify their properties, surmise what habitats may be suitable, and speculate as to the effects they may have on the environment and other species. Should it be judged a beneficial addition to the star, it will be allowed to take its place in the world. The two of you, too, were created with the hope of making the star a better place. So heed your masters well and be good, do you hear? We will, Memnon, we will. Thanks for the lesson. Ah, A-time! You had a turn, now I get a turn. Where did you come from? From a place far, far away. From a place facing a great threat. Or from the Crystarium, I guess. From a place facing a great threat. Let's say that. There's such a place? I had no idea. But this place is important to you. I can feel it. Oh, my power. I haven't told you about it. A creation. Let's find a creation. One not being watched. Then I'll explain my power. Motionless bird. Let's go to this little blob first here. Discuss the Spriggans. Spriggans? What are Spriggans? These things. Oh no, we call them awry. There are many, if there's many. It fits just one, then we say awryes. Though they're cute, they can be naughty. Sometimes they run off with concept crystals, and Hermes has to run after them. Yeah, they are tricky in a bunch. It's like a mini pelican. Oh, this creation is perfect. But I don't remember seeing it before. Perhaps it's new? Anyway, I'll try reading its mind. That's my power. Does it have no mind? Is it going to turn like evil or something like that? I can't read it, or maybe there's nothing to read? Wait, please wait. I'll try again, with you this time. Okay. Greetings, can you hear me? Doing this again? This is my power. I can read the emotions of those around me and project my emotions to others in return. I am not actually speaking to you in your mind. Rather, you are converting my emotions into words and intention. A process performed subconsciously by intelligent life forms. Hey, I'm intelligent! This ability is vital to my mission, for it allows me to interact with intelligent beings, even should they communicate via unknown languages or other nonverbal means. As a consequence, I am clumsy at speaking. Yet though I struggle to express myself in this fashion, Hermes wants me to speak as much as possible, for everyone has thoughts and feelings that they may wish to hide. I harbor an affection for you, one that is difficult to define. Aside from the fact that you share common traits with us, your thoughts are complex, prismatic. They draw me in and leave me wanting to know more. Out of respect for your privacy, I will refrain from using my power when speaking with you. Nevertheless, I want you to know that I wish to be your friend. Friend! Friend! Did you hear me? Yes. Good. Now it's my turn again. So, what are you good at? Stabbing things with the pointy end. Fighting, crafting, gathering, playing, it's a secret. I mean, I'd say I'm actually better at crafting than fighting, because I die a lot in dungeons. I don't die while crafting. And that's not, like, fighting doesn't really happen here, so... Oh, not creating, but crafting? Putting things together with your hands. That sounds like fun! I can't use creation magics, but maybe I can learn to craft. Now the bird's staring at her. It's an ominous bird. I think we might be bothering it. Is that Xenos? Let's keep going. We'll go and see Uanthe next. She's usually in a small building. One on the west row. That bird is weird. To the west. Oh, up there. Oh yeah, these buildings. If it were Xenos, he'd be staring at me instead. That is true, that is true. Oh. I was just wondering if all of these were opened. But no, we just gotta go to the last one and, that one opens. Uanthe. Well, well, if it isn't Matean. I see you've brought a friend today. Greetings, Uanthe. An apple. Could you make me an apple? The kind Hermes likes. Covered in syrup. I want to share it with Callista. Oh, candied apple. Hermes is certainly partial to them, but you know you can't eat, Matean. You weren't made to do so. But I like it too. It may seem that way, but it's due to your ability to share others' feelings. You've taken Hermes' likes for your own. In any case, I can't prepare an apple right now, but I'll bring one for Hermes soon, I promise. I'm sorry, Callista. I wanted to show you my favorite thing. Then I could ask about yours. But I failed. Tell her what you like. Oh, that's what you like? Yes, I can feel it. Your joy and happiness. And it makes me happy too. Thanks for sharing it with me, Callista. Well, we've walked and talked a lot. Maybe Hermes has finished talking too. Shall we go and see? Between you and me, Hermes' eating habits are atrocious. We may not be reliant upon food to the extent that our smaller creations are, but our diets eventually catch up with us. If we don't consume the requisite balance of nutrients, we grow weak and lethargic. Yet Hermes consumes candied apples as if they were a staple. So, Hermes better watch out for the diabetes. That's what you're saying. Diabetes. And excellent timing. 'Twas a refreshing constitutional, I hope. What, back already? Pity. A bit longer and we might have snuck away without you. There you are. I can see the fresh air has done Matean good. Callista wanted to learn about you and Elpis, so I taught her. About this place, about my power, about your favorite food. I'm not sure if the last one will be of any use. But I do appreciate your keeping Matean company. While you were away, I finished speaking with our guests. Finished? Hardly. You requested time to consider the invitation, so we have no choice but to occupy ourselves with an inspection of your work. My apologies. It has been decided that Emet-Selch and Hythlodaeus will accompany me as I tend to my duties. If you wish to learn more, perhaps you would like to come too. I'm compelled to remind you that she is in no way associated with the convocation. We simply chanced to meet at Propylaeon. There is no guarantee that the matters we discuss will remain private. I do not mind. To see the joy her presence brings Matean, I cannot imagine our mysterious friend harbors malicious intent. Callista is kind, really, truly. She taught me as much as I taught her. You're coming, of course, to watch Hermes? You're bound to learn lots and lots. Out of the mouths of familiars. They say the darndest things. This time we all get to go for a walk. Isn't it exciting? Though I see new creations on a daily basis, here they look at them with a different eye. It will be interesting to observe Hermes at work. It is held that all civil organizations should conduct their affairs with total transparency, and the Convocation is no exception. But that doesn't mean we are obligated to show our work to unknown entities such as you. Consider yourself privileged and behave accordingly. Lives apart. Composure regained, Hermes is ready to return to his duties. If everyone is ready, there are a few creations I need to check on. First, we shall return to the spot where we found our wereword ambystoma. Have care when you step outside a hub, for there may be more unruly creatures about. We gonna get attacked and we'll have to, like, protect them or something? Whoa! Oh, we've got quests now. You available yet? Yes. Bird of Elpis breast. Egg of Elpis. Ophiotauros hide. Petaluda scales. Woo! Oh. Oh, there we go. Bump, 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 bump. Ah, yes, the Ianthine petaluda, one of the newest species of the ever-popular butterfly. You're still bothered about your robe. Don't be. The few specimens we repurposed won't be missed. All vim and vigor now. When we were discussing his nomination, he was melancholy incarnate. So beautiful, Petaluda. I hope they make it into the world. This here is a new species of Petaluda we recently set loose. It has been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it unto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? Something about ether. It is the presence of a soul, yet the soul isn't something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation, that can endure on their own. Beings that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born of magic or natural phenomena, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it is not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I've received a report that arcane entities have gathered there. Let's all go to the beacon. Let's all go to the beacon. A little bit of a hike to get there. We'll head this way first. So the ether current is probably up elsewhere. That might be over on that island. This is the collector's edition mount, by the way. Arian. Or Arian, something like that. Alright, yeah, it's gonna be up there. And they're going to be up there. We're meant to be observing Hermes, but instead we're stuck with Matian. Well, I suppose she herself serves as proof of his prowess as a researcher and creator both. Interesting. You're interesting too. Tell me, how did you find the Abystoma? A fascinating creation, much like yourself, little one. Renowned as Hermes is for his flying life forms, 'tis a rare privilege to be able to see one of his works in progress. Ah, yes. Lightning Pneuma, just as the report said. Although we call this structure a beacon due to its form, it's in fact a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the isle airborne and maintains the climate thereupon. In the course of its operation, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now, that element is lightning, which draws the Pneuma here to replenish their ether. It appears Matian is busy. Would you care to assist me in her stead and feed the Pneuma? Never met a Pneuma I didn't like. By using this lightning converger, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball. A veritable feast for our dazzling friends. Go on, give it a try. Do I have to do it on here? Use the lightning converger to create ball lightning. Perfectly done, Callista. Look. See how they gather to feed, how they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words. Speech is not the sole defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature, nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as the Pneuma, or an ephemeral life form such as the Petaluda, all seek to perpetuate their existence, to survive. Is Matian an arcane entity? A good question. I can answer it from a theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of the Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional vision, such as Hythlodaeus, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that is all I need to know. Oh, you finished already. I'm sorry I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They missed nothing of note, and we still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head east to the Morning Dew. I need to speak with some observers there. Alright, so now we head up onto the one thing. Topiary. discovered a new location. 90 yalms to the southeast. Here. There it is. Menandros. Staring off into the to the unknown. Way to the west. Okay. I love my work, yet at times such as this the mind wanders. Where might I go? What monuments to man's ingenuity might I see, had I only the time to spare? Sappho! Shh, step softly, will you? You will wake them. I rest but do not sleep when you are far away. Softer a dream island than our children find in Leith. Or Lethe? Leave me alone. Perrymead. Is there anything more beautiful than watching the cycle of life at work? The cycle of life. See how the ether of Leith returns to the star as it rains down from above. Naught is wasted. And the wheel of virtue. This is where people just go to nap, apparently. On, like, the hard stone. So it's a weird people here. No wonder they're extinct. Ah, this fellow has been the talk of the Bureau. The combination of a carefree aspect and endless rows of fangs is strangely charming. Oh, this is the Gabu. Was there a guiding theme or any method to the madness that is this random assortment of features? It's adorable, but beware it sneeze. Hermes went flying once. Lots of teeth.
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
Ah! We can get another one, since the other one died. We pull it out of the ground and all of a sudden there's like sirens that go off. She's taking from Elpis! Get her!
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis. Entelekis. Like me.
Entelekis. Oh, because they read off of the emotions of others.
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions.
We've learned about this almost.
Like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. Well, it has no will of its own. It is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feeling.
Do the voices, when we remember them, have an echo always? It's because the thoughts bouncing around in the empty spot that is your head.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it.
Dynamis. Dynamite!
And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Entelekis.
So that's what's happening, but the opposite way, with people turning into the beasts.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait. A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteon?
Meteon.
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it.
Oh, ether-is. Got it.
However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%. The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Yours is thin too. Like an Enteleki. Like me.
I am not like you.
So... are we the same? Entelekis?
Not really. Sure, I don't see why I couldn't be one. I have been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination. If I'm thin, it's because Emet-Selch didn't do a proper job. The jab is too much fun not to do. I want to see how he reacts.
Well, aren't we ungrateful? Mayhap I should revert you to the pathetic, faded thing you were.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Enteleki make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You'd do well not to underestimate it. Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fella. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
Alright, we are just about to level 87. Never before had I heard of Dynamis or Endwalker. I can only assume the Elpis flower was submitted to the Bureau before I joined. Maybe it hasn't been because it just, like, created here. It's nowhere else. Their greatest contribution. Emet-Selch appears to be deep in thought. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it, even if we knew. But it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy, and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the Celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be persuaded to join, that is. I still can't understand his hesitation. Why did you join in the convocation? What do you specialize in? Oh, you wish to know why Emet-Selch was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, we're to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Come on, Emmett. What now? I want to learn more about the convocation. If you would accompany us, I suppose you should at least know that much. The Convocation of 14 is a governing body that determines myriad policies. Our goal is to ensure that all is right in creation, that our star may know a brighter future. As the name suggests, the Council is comprised of 14 offices, each of which is held by an individual chosen for their surpassing abilities. Depending on the office, one is required to either be an authority in a certain field, or possess skills that would facilitate the performance of their stipulated duties. The former category includes Metron, specialist in aquatic life, Logriff, specialist in terrestrial life and husbandry, Halmarut, specialist in fungal and plant life, Emeroloth, specialist in medicine and healing, and Lahabrea, specialist in creation magics, who has brought forth phantom beings of the highest complexity. As for the latter category, there is Ultima, advocate of the arts, Igiorum, champion of enlightenment and rhetoric, Pashtarot, preserver of discipline and order, Emet-Selch, keeper of the ethereal realm, or underworld in the vernacular, Fandaniel, pursuer of extant phenomena, and Azim, traveler of the world and counselor to the people. What, should I be revealing such details to you? Don't be silly. Even children know this much, and you would do well to remember it all. I'll tell you the tale when we're away from sensitive ears. Thank you. Endwalker or no, we're friends. In thinness. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released unto the world. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main isle and head north. Wow. 781 yalms to the west. That is far to the west. We'll go travel the rim here. Try not to aggro anything. bum, 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 bum. A serpentine bird or a winged snake? There is a slight difference in etheric balance between these Charybdises. By this, it may be assumed that they aren't the original creations, but their offspring. Why is this one blue and shiny? Oh, forgive me. I thought another member of the convocation had come. This is turning out to be an eventful day. Technically, not wrong. I understand there is a problem with one of the Charybdises. One of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, it is capable of flight. The specimens created from the concept should all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This third-generation creature was born with an etheric balance leaning strongly towards water, its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. For such change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau that the concept be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis would indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds wings. What? You needed go to such lengths? You don't know? Oh, but of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form, and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Yet convenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme. As uncouth and unseemly as running around robeless. Shameful. Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort. It's just that when transformed I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may... Yes, I believe I have a solution, Emet-Selch. May I trouble you to move that Charybdis away from its fellow, somewhere out of sight. Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind. Such bother when we could simply begin anew, but I shall defer to the Chief Overseer. We must help the Charybdis to fly, or else they will all die. Hythlodaeus is a man of ideas. I wonder what he has thought up this time. Emet-Selch is out of sight? Good, let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emet-Selch train the Charybdis. Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see ether currents. And with his adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you described, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be. As I mentioned, it would also be for his own sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. Callista, I want you to go to Emet-Selch. Tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go now, and good luck. I have a favor to ask. Okay. Well, he did go quite far away. There he be. Well, are your preparations for the scheme that is clearly not a scheme complete? Have a favor to ask. Alright, let's get the keyboard out. Oh no, you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. Ugh. I don't know what Hythlodaeus is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse. If Hythlodaeus is to be believed, relentless insistence may wear him down. Please, Emet-Selch. To plead with Emet-Selch.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emet-Selch. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emet-Selch. Please.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last. I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we? You were wondering why Emet-Selch joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even. Quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emet-Selch has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree.
I mean, in more ways than one.
If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault.
Nah. That changes.
He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others. Where she walks, excitement is certain to follow. Her antics irritate Emet-Selch to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine, and together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you.
Yeah, that's true.
I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emet-Selch? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
Throw an axe at him? Is that how we'd signal to him? If I didn't know better, I'd say Emet-Selch is enjoying himself. Not that he'd ever deign to admit it. Look, Callista, look how well the Charybdis flies. It's flying. It's really flying, as if it were born to do so. Thank goodness. No. 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 Oh, let's see. Oh, wave. Oh, that's what we have to do. There we go. Do I have to have him selected? Nope. Oh, I have him selected, that's why. Emerging from his reverie, Emet-Selch notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. And Callista and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. Indeed. With this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it to achieve this, the Charybdis is a herd animal. They may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion, if and when the need arises. Keeping this in mind, I bid you continue observing them. If that is what you want. But if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that anomalies such as this specimen are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief, as you wish. Jeez. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I guess. Let's go, Charybdis. God. Hermes. I'm fine, don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Anagnoresis for now. Sure. Let us return. Pray return to Anagnoresis. The whale's so excessive. Oh, we have a fate here, huh? Thunderhead Keranos. There's nobody else here. I don't have armor on. We'll just avoid it. Ah! No, let's do it. Put my gear on. Get my companion out here. This might not go well. There we go. Once somebody else joined in, it helped. When I had all the aggro, it was a little tight. Sorry, I killed some of your beloved creatures, Hermes. All the creations are happy. That makes me happy too. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. At the end, most of all. Now you've seen what I do. Was it everything you were expecting? What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. Hey, Supervision, how's it going today? Hope you're having a good Friday. Level 87, ding. I'm tired, leave me be. Ether to ether. Something seems to be weighing on Hermes' mind. Tell me, Callista, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? Nothing so far, but I'm hoping that will change. Dynamis. Dynamis seems promising. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but I don't think I've found it yet. I'll say Dynamis seems promising. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be of interest to you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Is something the matter? The Ayakian. I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation than it set upon the hereby occupites, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry or somehow provoked? I had just fed them myself, and the occupites were keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Iakian that is to blame, their innate viciousness. Temperament aside, it is an outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. Though it may not be suited for release, I have no doubt that the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. In any case, there's no point in postponing the inevitable. Doros will revert them all once the paperwork is in order. Where is the scene of the incident? Over there. See that? Just off the path of the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doros is still there, however. Hermes, wait! If this is part of his work, then I would observe. We follow. Down over there. That person's doing some gathering here. I'm a long ways from being able to have my gathering classes up to this level. Alright, I'm going to take another quick break, and we will be back. Oh yeah, we'll be back momentarily. One moment.